Hi, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all my viewers. This is Uttarun Chaudhary from hashtag Go Viral to Stop the Virus. And this is my new series, The Emerging Stars of India. And today with me is Suvajit Mandal, one of the most talented emerging artists of India. Shubhajit follows his heart. Shubhajit has always been extremely passionate about his art, and Shubhajit makes his own rules, which is very, very rare considering in India it's a tradition to follow your elders, it's a tradition to follow your tradition, it's also a tradition to follow rules. But here's an artist who's a new Indian, who's an emerging mind, who has a new heart throbbing inside him. And Shubhajit Mondal has made his own rules, he's followed his heart, and he's followed his passion for art, no matter whatever is at stake. So, hi Shubhajit, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm doing fine. And Shubhajit, I would first of all welcome you to hashtag Go Viral Stop the Virus. This is, and I'm so glad to have you at the Emerging Artist of India interview. So, Shubhajit, I would like to ask you this question that, as I know that your journey as an artist since you were a child has not been a particularly smooth one. It's been a rough ride.
Yeah,
So if you're willing to talk about it, we'll be glad because
sure,
we'd
sure.
want the world to know, and we'd want India to know, and we'd want every friend of ours to know how strongly you've pursued your passion, and how wonderfully have you emerged as an artist like a budding flower. So
Okay,
please continue.
yeah. So it was not like that. It like when I was a kid, it was being an artist was not actually in my mind. But as I grew up, literally, had a feeling, I had a liking like to do paintings and all. So it was like in school, um, like I should thank my school teachers who actually that they put that seed in the soil to
Wonderful. You want to name them, you can do that.
yeah. So they actually helped me in like finding what I want to do. And
Which school were you in, Shubhajit?
I was in MP Birla Foundation Higher Secondary School, which is in
Wonderful.
Behala.
Okay.
And I must say the teachers were very good, they were excellent, and there were less teachers more, and they were more friends. So whatever I used to do, like even dance or theater, they always used to encourage me for that. And then when I came into college and all, that was the time when I wanted to be an artist. Like I really wanted to be an artist, but it was, I won't blame my parents now, because it was a hard time with them at that point of time. But now, if I see, being in a middle class family, every parents want their child to get a job and get settled, get
All
married
right.
and all.
Right.
But it was not for them. And being in a city, like being in a city, or in a middle class family, it's very difficult, like thinking being an artist, how you will survive your whole life. Like you have to get married, you will be having kids and all.
Right.
So it was
And
very
art is
difficult.
not a very profitable profession, and that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people think even now.
Yes, yes. So it was like they used to think like that, but I had my own wish. But yes, I like they asked me to do BCom, and I said okay, yes,
So
I'll do.
they
But
so they told you to join commerce. So you took up
commerce,
commerce as your major, right?
major.
Yeah.
So, but I used to have fights with them quite often, because uh, my mom wanted, like, she didn't have any problem with me taking up painting. She said you can take it as an hobby, but not as a profession.
Right.
So, but I wanted to be it, like to be a full-time profession. And so I didn't get any chance to learn art. But what inspired me, it was, there were many friends of mine at that point of time who used to be very good artists, and they used to inspire me. and I got inspired by the folk arts of Bengal, like the
Right.
Bengal Patachitra, the Orissa Patachitra, and Madhubani, because
Hmm.
of the intricacy and the simplicity. And what I feel is the folk arts is not something that has been uh, created like with technical
Finesse.
uh-huh, yeah,
It
but
is mostly from the heart.
heart, yeah. And the people, like it came out like Madhubani, as the story says, that during when Sita was born, the king asked the villagers to paint their houses, and
So
that's how the
I'll pause you for one second. For people who are watching, for people who are watching from outside India or people who do not know what Madhubani is, here's Shubhajit Mandal explaining. Madhubani is a traditional form of folk art from India, and Shubhajit is explaining what it is and the story behind it. So, that we all yes, yes,
so Madhubani is a folk art form of Bihar, and it's said to be a very ancient folk arts form that has been existed in India till now. And the stories goes like that: Sita, in the epic Ramayana, uh, Sita, when Sita was born, the king, her father, asked the villagers to paint their houses. The villagers did it, and that was the style that has been now. It has been revised, and the style has been changed a lot. But it is a people who used to paint their walls in a very colorful manner. And
right,
if you see the Madhubani art, it's not very. If you see the figures and the trees and the birds, they are not very what to say. Uh, Very original, but still it
right.
looks beautiful.
What
So
you mean is they're not exactly drawn to
exactly
life, but
like
they're translated into into the artist's mind into an artistic expression.
expressions, yeah. So that's what inspired me. And second is this Kalighat Patachitra. The Kalighat Patachitra is also the similar
Right.
kind of art that has emerged during mostly during the late uh, I
You,
forgot.
you want to say that the Kalighat Patachitra was like early 19th century Calcutta,
Yes,
where
yes.
during the British Raj, that is
British Raj. Yeah,
yes,
mostly. And Orissa Patachitra is also very an ancient Patachitra like style. It is they used to praise Lord Jagannath, so it's
right.
a long history. So
So
like
Patachitra, if you want to explain what Patachitra is, it is painting on this long
cloth
broad cloth which which you can roll like and talk about the
stories.
different stories like a movie, right?
Yeah, it's like a movie, and it's a scroll painting where they tell you about the stories. And even now there is a village called Pingla in Medinipur district, where we still have the Medinipur Patachitra artists, the Potuas, who were still
Right.
there. And they do sing, and then they show you the paintings. That's really like that's a treat to eyes when you
Yes.
go to the village and you see them singing and
Yes.
describing their paintings. It's really wonderful.
Right. Like we have Bapi Chitrakar, who's collaborated with us quite a few times. He's from Pingla,
Yeah.
and we've been fascinated every time he's shown us his art. So Shubhajit, after you were influenced from these art forms, and then that is when I mean, the seed was planted inside you, and you started to explore your art forms. And when did you, and then when did you move out of Calcutta?
So it was so I should tell something more. It was not easy
Yes.
to pick up the style, because most of the styles has been taken up separately by some of my friends. So there has to be something different. So it was very difficult. When I actually started painting seriously, I used to copy some of my friends, like their art. I used to get inspired so much, get
All
inspired so
right.
much.
Honest
Uh,
confession there,
yeah,
people.
honest
Yeah.
confession there. Yeah, I used to learn from them, like how to like the lines and the drawings, and it was difficult. But slowly, as I started doing that, then I realized I can. fuse these three forms and give it a contemporary look. So if you see some of my old paintings, that I used to take the eyes, the style of the eyes from the Bengal idols that
Okay.
were, and like like the hairs to be flying. So the hairs of the deities used to be like flying upwards,
Right. Right.
and then fusing the designs which I used to like from each of the art forms. I used to put them in together, and then I saw it is coming out well, and then I started developing on it. So that's how it came. Like I started like making a new style and bringing up.
Wonderful. Okay. And after that,
So yeah,
I mean, your Calcutta phase was over,
no,
and I heard that you told your folks that you're moving with the job, and when
yeah.
you were actually moving as an artist.
Yeah, so after my BCom, I actually moved. I actually worked in Calcutta for a year, and then I moved to Hyderabad for
Okay.
2.5, 3 years. Then I
Right.
came back to Calcutta, and I had this huge pressure from my parents to get a government job, and I
Okay.
have to study again. No way. Uh,
Right.
so I was like used to get tuitions from some institution, and it was really boring. And
Okay.
some I used to bunk some of the classes, and though
Right.
my mother has deposited a huge sum of money, I had to go and I had to get the lectures and all. But it happened. We were doing a project with some of my friends that didn't happen actually, so which made me sad and depressed. So it was my first art project in a very big manner, and like
Mhm.
it didn't happen, and so I feel very sad, and I didn't want to do any painting, and in which was affecting me and also my relationship with my parents. So it was very hard for me to like survive in Calcutta. And then I had a friend in Himachal who used to stay in this room a few years, yeah, like a year
Okay.
back. Yeah. So he called, I just called him and I said, can I come and stay there for some time and just have a little bit fresh air and all? He said, okay. The thing is that I'm moving out, and the owner of the house, Dr. Kishwar Ahmed Shirali, so she is also moving out, and like for a month. So we had a
Mm.
small cat. So if you can come and there is a spare room, you can stay there and you can take care of the cat. It will be great. But you have to tell me.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I said, okay, let me think, because the time span is like within a week I have to go. So
Right.
what to tell to my parents and all. So I as I just after I spoke to him, I just went and bought the tickets. So that
Okay.
what I did, and I was like, okay, if I'm moving out, what shall I do? Like, is it actually like my intentions was to come and settle here, but like surviving with an art, there was already in my mind that can we survive with art, but because it's not that easy.
Mhm.
So that I had a question, but I'll really thank some of my friends, which I'll come
Right.
later, which I'll come to them later.
Okay.
But yeah. So what happened? I came home and I told my mom and my dad that I had to go for an interview tomorrow, because
Okay.
I'm not so for 1 year I'm not earning anything, and like my expenses are getting like what how to bear up my expenses and all. So they said, okay, go. So I went out, and what I did was there was no interview. Next morning I
Okay.
went out. I sat beside the river bank, the
Okay.
beautified river bank.
Ganges. Yes. The River Hooghly. Yes.
Hooghly, yeah. So
Yes.
that was the place where I used to spend most of my time. Like when I used to
Right.
feel bad, I used to feel good. So I spent the whole day there. And then in the afternoon, I went for a movie. And then I came out, and then I went back home around in the evening, around 7 or 8. So my mom asked what happened. I said, there is a good news and a bad news. So what's the good news? I got a job. But the bad news is I have to go to Delhi. So I have to leave Calcutta.
Right.
So my mom was happy, but my dad was like, "You will go out. What will happen to your government job uh, that you are preparing for?" I
Right.
said, "Yeah, I can prepare. I can give exams from Delhi also, so I can go there."
Right.
So that was it, and within 2 3 days, I had like my train and all, and then I just came to Dharamshala, and nobody knew about it, like except few friends, and who actually helped me. Like I was like in a dilemma, what to do. Like, am I taking a right
Right
step or
decision.
not, right decision or not? So there are friends like I should take the name like Kamal Kumar, Ashish. They are my outstation friends, Dr. Neil. So they were like, I just gave them the news and they were shocked. Oh, but they said that whatever you do, if you are willing to go, you go, do it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And but still there was some dilemma, and there were other friends like Arijit, Tamalda and all. They were really very supportive, but the most important support that I got was from my I cannot tell him my friend, as he's a senior, very much senior to me. He's Kushal Bhattacharya. We sat by the riverside at after
Hmm.
in the evening, and then he told me many things, like you never know what is going to happen, what is waiting for you. Just you have to take that step, and then you will go. I trusted in him, and then I said, okay, I have to go.
Okay.
And yeah, I have to go. And then after I came here, um I met then I came here and I met this amazing lady, Dr. Kishwar Amit Shirali, which is actually my turning point. Like accepting my own sexuality, accepting myself, who I am and what I wanted to do. The main thing that she says is what you wanted to do is the main thing, and whatever like you have to be responsible for your own decisions. Like you what you wanted to do, the path you will be choosing, but there will be many failures, but you shouldn't stop at those failures. You should have like doing it again and again until and unless you succeed.
Right.
And she
That
helped
is
me.
incredible. That is incredible that, a person who, I mean, I can imagine you from Calcutta, boarding on a train and then getting off at Himachal Pradesh, which is a state in India which is full of incredibly beautiful hills. It's like, hills, and and you step out into a different world altogether. And in a city where no one literally knows you, and there you begin your life. And thanks to this lady you spoke about, and she gave me the strength to be yourself. So that is, I believe, an extremely, it's an incredible thing.
And like talking about her, it's like she has been working like she's a psychotherapist, and
Okay.
she has been like working for the mental health for the women and the children in uh, not only in India, but like mostly in India, like Kashmir, Bihar,
Hmm.
and then in
Hmm.
Himachal Pradesh. But
Right.
also she has worked outside uh, India also, and she was
I
nominated for
understand.
the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005. She's an
Oh,
amazing woman.
wonderful. So not only did you land up in a different place, and a place which is artistic, it's full of artists. Himachal Pradesh is, especially Dharamshala, is like, the breeding ground of beauty, art, and of course the ability to appreciate nature. And of course, you came in touch with an amazing person, and it's practically a touchstone, and she turned you into gold. It's wonderful.
I don't know, but I'm still trying to be a good person. That's it.
That is great. That is great. So I'll come to the next question, Shubhajit, which is, say, how loudly does your heart throb for art? Well, I'll rephrase the question. It
Yeah,
is, as an Indian artist,
yeah. Hmm.
you had to leave your city, you had to accept your sexuality, you had to move out of your comfort zone to pursue art, to be a full-time artist.
Hmm.
So, I know that, your passion for art has no horizons, but I want to hear from you what art means deep inside you? What art means to you? Is it a way of life? Is it the air which you breathe? What is it?
It's you have answered the question. That it's a life to me. It's a meditation. Like
All right.
like it may be a way of earning money also, but what it gives me is peace, the peace of mind. And when like now when I'm doing art, it's more about like not only like when I started, I used to only take up the mythological figures or the characters, only the characters, and do it in my way. But
Hmm.
as I started developing myself, as I started knowing myself, so it my art also now getting influenced by my life, by the life around surrounding, and
Right.
especially spirituality. And when spirituality comes into existence, we have to talk about Rabindranath Tagore
Right.
and his songs. Like like you try to listen to his songs again and again, and you will get a different meaning every time, and every time you
Yes.
go deep inside it. And also since it's I'm more like I like Kali, so understanding Kali was a main focus in my life. So
The goddess Kali.
goddess Kali. And so it was the songs of our Kavi Najrul Islam, uh, and
Rajanikanto.
Rajinikanto, and the I'm forgetting the
Ram
name.
Prasad Sen.
Prasad Sen, and yeah. So their songs are used to be a great influence. Like every time I listen to their songs, like it's very simple, but yet it has a very deep meaning, very deep meditational. Like you get uh, understand the Kali, the goddess
Hmm.
Kali, different way, a different side of Kali. So that
Right.
influenced my art a lot. So
Okay.
yeah.
So wonderful. So that is how art bloomed inside of you as an image of the goddess Kali, and of course through the songs of Rabindranath Tagore. But I must say that I find this very interesting because Rabindranath Tagore was a Brahmo. So his
Mhm.
songs are mostly songs about the Jibon Devota and the songs about where he literally talks about the world and the world that brims with creativity inside his heart. And the other people like Rajinikanto, Ramprasad Sen, their songs are devotional, and their songs mostly deal with Kali, which who's markedly absent from most of Rabindranath Tagore's songs. But the best part is you took the best of both worlds. You took Kali from the devotional point, and you took the spirituality of Rabindranath Tagore's creativity, and you fused them to form your art view. That is, I find that extremely intriguing and very interesting. Like, thank you for sharing that with us, Shubhajit. I'll move to the next question, which is, say, for example, as an Indian artist, Shubhajit,
Mhm.
as the world moves towards conceptual art, art for art's sake, you uh, you're dedicated to the world of craft, the world of tribal art, the world of folk art, the Indian tradition. So, could you tell us that, why is that? Is it because that is where you think the excellence of Indian art lies? Maybe in 10 more years, that is how the Indian art form would emerge, and there'll be a new and a modern form that will emerge out of that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like that. And also, what I feel is, like I have been born and brought up in a very like at that point of time, Behala was where I was born, was a outskirts from Calcutta.
Right,
So outskirts of Calcutta, and we had like ponds and trees around, and I love the nature. I like the smell of the mud. I used to play with
okay,
mud. So I think these folk arts are very related to the soil. It's very
right,
grounded, and
right,
which touches you deep inside your heart, and
right.
which makes me feel. And it's also an heritage of India, of course, because
Mhm.
it has been coming since ages, and like the colors are bright, and the intricacy, the detailing, and it should be it should come in front of the world, because very like like now there has been many uh, there has been many like they are bringing up the folk art in front of the world, but it was not
Right.
happening 2 years back. So that was my first initiative to bring the folk art forms in a new way, in a
Wonderful. Can you talk about this a little? That your initiative when you wanted to bring, some folk arts like, the Patachitras and the Mughal miniature and ghazals, and how do you, how you plan to do that? And can you talk about it in a little detail, please?
uh, like after fusing the miniature this three art forms like Patachitra, Madhubani, and Orissa Patachitra, like the main thing I loved about the Orissa Patachitra is the borders. The
The
borders are
borders, yes.
intricate details and colorful. So
Right.
it's a treat to eyes. Like when you put a border like that around a painting, it gives a different presence. What I like about the Bengal Patachitra mostly is its hands, the way it
Okay.
paints hands and the faces. It's just a line drawing. It's just very simple,
Okay.
but yet you
Mm-hmm.
can and just two layers of colors, like a base color and a little bit of highlight, with suppose a yellow figure with a red border or a red highlight with that. It gives such a beautiful effect, like the colors, the brightness, the simplicity. What I
Right.
feel, simplicity is the main thing in these folk art forms. Even like nowadays, when I am trying to implement the Mughal miniature and Kangra miniature, so the thing is that the designs, the intricacy, if you go deep into it and if you see, they are very simple. They're very simple to do it. But it when you look, it looks very complicated, but yet very beautiful.
So,
So
can you talk a little bit about the Mughal miniature and the Kangra miniature as well? Like, what
uh,
are these art forms?
this Mughal miniature, actually, I'm at this point of time I'm studying about that.
Wonderful.
It's just a start. So I cannot talk much about it. I don't want to, because I don't know if I tell something wrong. So now I'm just begin to like got inspired from the art form, and it started implementing on my art. Yet I'm
Right.
studying about it, so how it came and how it started and all. So sure,
Right.
in some time I will do something, or do make some art about the history of Kangra miniature and the Mughal miniature. So yes,
And you
that
also name yourself as Suvajit Mandal Kalarupena, right?
yeah, Kala Rupena is a Facebook page that I have. So
Okay.
that's the initiative that I had. Like Kala is the art, and Rupena is the form of the divine in the
Okay.
form of art. So
Right.
that's like Shakti Rupena, like got
Understand.
inspired from that.
Got it. Okay. So that is how you plan to revive these old folk art forms, and you feel that this is how maybe the Indian art form, the stream through which we are going. I mean, it'll flow to a different direction, and it'll of course bloom and emerge differently.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And like life is about learning, that every day I'm learning a new thing. And like learning a new thing is giving a new experience, and like new thing to just like it's a good feeling, like and I feel that every moment, like learning doesn't end. Like every day you learn a new thing, and
All right.
that's how you implement in your life. That's
Wonderful. So as we speak, Kushal Bhattacharya just wrote in the text chat. He said, "I'm so proud of you." So, and
it's I should say like without him, like without those words that he told me when I was leaving Calcutta, this wouldn't have happened. So
all right.
I
So, Kushal Bhattacharya, we thank you as well. We thank you for giving us Shubhajit, an artist like Shubhajit Mondal. It's because of you and your words, Shubhajit had the courage to finally, take the train and move to the destination which will be his future. So thank you so much, Kushal. Okay. So, yes, so I would move to the next question, Shubhajit. which is, I would say that when I first looked at your art, I was thrilled because I felt that, not only was your art intricate, your art had extreme detailing, and, there were very subtle nuances in it, which brought out a lot of very interesting meanings. When I looked at them, I felt that I'm looking at a mirror and I could interpret your art my way. And I was wondering that, you painted these during the pandemic, didn't you? So when the pandemic was raging, it's still raging in India. Right now, it is there are 50,000 people, almost close to 50,000 people who are infected today, almost close to 50,000. So as this is happening right now, as the world is uh, is almost, because, I know how you feel about the environment, how you feel about divinity, and how you feel about spirituality, and how you feel about the world, which is to some extent right now maybe, showing us that it, we shouldn't mess with the world anymore, because, right now the world is almost turning back and showing us a very different side of it. So when the pandemic was raging, what were your points of view, say for example, as an environmentalist, as, a person uh, who has a very strong spiritual insight? What were your thoughts
So my
during the
first
pandemic?
painting, the first thing that I had a feeling like it was the painting that I made that you will be like showing in some time. The
Yes.
painting of Kali, how the mother is feeling, like how she's feeling, like killing so many human beings, like it's their son, it's her son.
Right.
So how a mother is feeling, and on the other hand, when you see the nature, like I could see more birds around. Like generally you see more birds around, but those times I can see birds which we see very occasionally over here. I could see those birds coming around and just roaming and flying here and there, and the skies, and even it was in news, like the nature is healing, the atmosphere
Right.
is getting pollution free. So how like it's also part of nature, it's also her children. So how
Right.
the mother is feeling to kill some children in order to make others survive. So the pain of the mother, that the happiness of the pain that she's bearing to give birth to the nature, as well as the sadness that the mother is like feeling while killing
Mhm.
the humanity around. Like I
Right.
believe there should always be a balance, like a balance of good and bad, uh happy and sad, day and night. So there is always a balance. So it's not that there should be only good, no bad, or there should be only bad, no good. There is, like, the things which exist in the world is something that has been already given to us. So there should be always a balance of being good and bad, a happy and sad, so black and white. There should always be a balance. So that's what it is.
I understand. And, as in, this is very interesting to know that, think about it as an artist. There are times when you start painting, and then, your art, after it's completed, or after it's moving to a direction, you somehow feel that maybe you wanted to do something else, and maybe this is not the right direction. So at that point of time, you tend to reject it and move to a different form, right? Or move to a different painting. So that,
I can you please pardon the yeah.
sorry, could you hear me?
Yeah. Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, please. I felt that, when you speak about the pain of the mother,
Mhm.
I feel it is also the pain of the artist, because, there are times when an artist creates this piece of art, he starts or she starts, and then after a while, at a point of time, there comes a time when you feel that it's going the right way. There comes a time when you feel that maybe it is not. And so
Mhm.
at times you move to a different project altogether, leaving that project aside. So that happens at times, right?
Yeah, that happens. Like sometimes it happens. I start working on some painting, and
Hmm.
I couldn't get the idea what to do next. So I keep
Right.
the painting. So when I feel doing it, that's what has happened after I moved here in an extreme way. Like until and unless I feel doing something, I cannot do, even if I try
Right.
to. So it has to come from within. So when
Right.
I don't force now. So if it is not coming, let it be like that. So when I feel it doing it, then I'll do it.
I
So
understand.
sometimes
So,
I'm doing it is like I'm feeling it. Yeah, exactly.
okay.
What I'm feeling it.
So that is also painful, right? So I was wondering that when as you said, the Earth is well, to some extent, killing some of her own children to achieve a balance. I mean, it must be extremely painful. I mean, that must be uh, the pain of the pandemic, which is, with something that the Earth is feeling as well. I really like your point of view because we've, from now on, we've always thought about since now we've thought about our pains, the our loss and people we've lost, but even during the pandemic, when you look back and think about the earth and maybe the pain the earth is going through, that is something that only an artist can do. So I'll start with four of your paintings today, and I'll take them up and I'll share the screen, and I would ask you to talk about them a little, and I would want to talk about it a little as well. So I'll start with the first one. So allow me to share the screen. Give me a second. Let me allow me to share it. Just a second, please.
Sure.
Yes. Okay. So this is the
Pain
first
of
painting. Yes. So I felt that I wrote "Let Harmony Go Viral" because I felt that this is the pain that the earth is going through to bring about harmony.
yeah.
This is the pain that maybe an artist goes through to bring about harmony in his creations or her creations. Like a poet has to abort a lot of his poems because till the right poem comes out. So it is extremely painful. It is extremely it takes a very different philosophy to do to abort your own children, to abort your own poetry, your own art, and your own creations, to finally find balance and harmony for a bigger cause. And so here I see in your painting, I believe there is the goddess Kali. And can you talk about this painting a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I was listening to one of the Shama Shongit while I was like, it was the start of the pandemic, and like the that time India was not that much affected by it, but the world was heavily affected, like in the European countries and China, of course, at that point of
Right.
time, and people were dying every day, and it was like the head in the first page of the newspaper and on the TV and everywhere it was like coronavirus. And so that point of time I was like I was listening to one of the songs, uh Shama Shongits, and that where the poet is like questioning, like you are the mother who is standing on your own husband and chopping off your own son's head, but I won't question you for anything. But you should like I will happily give my head and my hands to you. Like put my head on your garland, keep my hand as your skirt. Uh, what I need is you, or I don't need anybody else. So that when I was listening to that song, and I was looking at the mountains, like tear roll off out of my eyes, and I felt
Oh.
like how the mother is feeling, like it's she won't be happy like killing her own children. So how the nature is feeling, so, like I try to feel the nature from within, because I am also part of nature. So if I cannot feel the nature, how
Mhm.
how can that happen? So like I try to a little bit feel the nature, that how a mother, like putting her in a point of view of a mother. uh like I just painted this, and like literally like seeing the nature blooming around, and also the humanity is getting killed every day, and
Mhm.
like the serious condition that's going around the world, the panic among the people, like people are getting more panicked, like when they heard about coronavirus, and actually when people are getting affected and dying because of coronavirus. So it was those feelings which I need to put it in paper, like in a form of painting. So this painting came out. So I never
Right.
planned. before I start. So I just start it and then it happens.
Okay. And so, could you tell us about the symbolism in this? There are animals and there are people, and of course, there's a meditating man in the middle.
Yeah, it's just very simple. Like the like she is the two
This
lines
is
that are going. Yeah,
yes,
that's the humanity. That's how the people are getting killed by coronavirus. And also
okay,
like she's giving birth to the nature,
right,
and also like she's feeding the nature with her breast milk in the form of
right.
water. And this the meditative man is actually the representation of the artist, that what I am seeing, what I am feeling.
Okay,
So it's
wonderful. I mean, this is seriously beautiful, and you have animals who belong to the water, and birds, various different birds and reptiles, and this form of art is Madhubani.
it's a mixture of Madhubani and Bengal Patachitra mostly.
Okay. So the goddess, I mean, like you said, I mean, it has been drawn in the Bengal Patachitra where the hands and the legs and the torso, where there are mainly two colors. One is the base color, another is the highlight, and the rest of it, I believe, is has been in intricate detailing has been done in the
Black and
Madhubani
white.
style,
Yeah, black and
right?
white. And Madhubani, I generally like initially I prefer to paint it black and white and a bit of red. The reason behind it is the black and the white. The white reflects, black absorbs.
Right.
And red is the power of love and color. So you can you can like have the ability of absorbing and reflecting only with power and love.
Wonderful. Wonderful. This is, I mean, because even the colors that Suvajit uses has this very interesting meaning and symbolism, which is beautiful. And I must say that the goddess Kali, those who do not know, the goddess Kali is a very interesting goddess, a very interesting Indian goddess. She symbolizes creation and destruction. She's a woman. She's dark, and she carries a scythe in her hand. And on the other hand, she has severed heads of demons, and she stands on top of her husband, and she has her hair open, her eyes are out, and her tongue hangs out. And she literally, at that point of time, she symbolizes time itself. That that like time, she moves on, and like time, she doesn't spare anyone, and like time, she also takes care of people and their destinies. And this is an incredible representation of the goddess and the earth, and the pain that they're going through to achieve harmony. And I respect that, and I sincerely appreciate your thoughts and what you've put in, Shubhajit. Incredible work. All right, with your permission, we'll move to the next one.
Sure, sure.
Yes. The next one is called Rue a Ghazal.
Yes,
And, I've called it Make the Twilight Go Viral because I felt that, Rue is, of course, the Urdu word for Atma or the soul.
soul.
Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt that inside everyone's soul, there's a twilight, there's a cusp of duality, which might have been explored here, as I can see the person that you've drawn here as two sides.
Yeah.
And so I would like to know a little about this and these beautiful colors that you've used and of course the beautiful borders that's there. Like my friend Dr. Sheldon Hurst, when he saw his stuff the first time, when he saw your art the first time, he said like, "Oh my God, these borders are incredible." So could you please talk about them a little?
Yeah, this is a friend of mine, and he wanted me to write his name in Urdu. So I thought, like, why not make a painting of him? Like, uh,
Okay.
apart from writing the name in Urdu, it will be a small one, but what not about? So I started questioning him about what he likes and what he don't like, and what he does apart from his job. I
Mhm.
don't want to take his name, but he's a professor by profession. And like this, the day part shows his professional life, and the night part shows he likes to bake, he loves to listen to songs, old songs, like he loves
Okay.
ghazal. Actually, he loves
Right.
ghazal a lot. And he is very and he's an art lover. And so I thought, like, let do something. So this was and he loves the Mughal miniature, like some a touch of Mughal miniature and all. So so that's why I then started looking or how the Mughal architectures looks like and Mughal paintings looks like. And then I started implementing, mostly this is the style, it's inspired by the Mughal miniature. So this was the first
Wonderful.
time I like 70% of the painting I used Mughal miniature. Generally I don't. So a little bit of everything, but this was the first time I used the miniature style a lot.
Okay. And so, as I can see, the flowers around it, and
Yeah.
the beautiful use of blue, which slowly fades into white. I mean, could you talk a little about your use of blue here? Because you've used, I mean, I have not seen blue in many of your paintings, but here you've used
So
a lot
yeah.
of.
So there is a story behind it. So I should talk. There are two friends of mine, one of whom who actually, when I was in college, that I met that friend through Facebook. So he once said, like, my nickname is Ronnie. Ronnie, you can you have to, like, you have to take painting as an, like, a profession. You can do it. So that word like gave me like inspiration, like I have to do it. So that's also gave me a very much, like, the first time I like thought that yes, I have to do painting and I have to take painting as a profession at that point of time. So we have another mutual friend of ours who is very close to me. Yeah, we are very like, he's one of my best friends. uh, I have a lot of best friends, by the way.
That is great.
So he said, why don't you use blue instead of red in the borders? So I said, okay, uh, let's do that. So in this painting, since it's Mughal, and most of the Mughal paintings is either inspired like by blue or green, so this will be the appropriate painting to use blue and little bit of purplish shade and all. So this was the first time that I tried to experiment with the blue, and I am like pretty much happy using it. So like, you can see a lot of influence of blue in a few paintings of mine. And also blue is the color of infinity again, so it's gives you the infinite ideas and the infinite life, or the wishes or spirituality, that
Okay.
infinite. So yeah.
Well, and there are animals here as well. I guess birds. There's one
Ah,
peacock, and
peacock and one crane. Though these two birds are his favorite birds, and over here I try to portray myself in form of a bird. So the bird is the bird which is sitting on the book that he's
right.
holding. So this is a paradise flycatcher. So we often see a paradise flycatcher with a huge long white tail and a black head. Not a
Okay.
black head; it's a navy blue color head. The head is like, and it shines. So it's very
Right.
beautiful, very delicate, and it's roams around in the summers, and it's a treat to eyes, like watching these birds. So this is one of my favorite. So that's how I represent myself in the painting.
Wonderful. So before I move to the next one, I would like to tell you that this not only is a treat to our eyes, it is also a treat to our soul, because I feel that when I look at this, I feel not only am I looking at this painting with hidden symbols and colors, I'm looking at India. I'm looking at the history of Indian painting, and I'm looking at that history being taken and molded. I'm looking at the past being taken and molded into the future, and that makes me extremely happy, and that makes me jubilant because I feel I can see the future of Indian art here. And so before I move to the next question, I would like to ask, or another, or let me ask it once I move to the next one. This is the next one. I'm saying make perspectives go viral. Okay, so I want to ask you this, Shubhajit, that in your paintings, in many of your paintings, I see there's a representation of sexuality, and sexuality of many different kinds. So I would like to ask you that, see, as in India, I mean, at present, unfortunately, we are breaking out of the taboos that we had, but we've always had a sense of taboo about sexuality, and which is surprising because India was one of the earliest nations to actually write a doctrine on sexuality, and it has been a very long time since we've to some extent moved out of it, and we've shunned it, and we've embraced the usual flow of life. And so how in your art, as in this one, we've seen a very different approach to sexuality, a very open change of perspective. And so if you could talk about it, and if you feel like you can talk about
Yeah,
the story
sure,
behind the
sure.
painting as well.
Yeah, this is a very close painting of mine, and actually, this has been like what I feel. When I started trying to discover myself, the most important thing about my experience was about how what is love. So that was the most important thing in life. Like, how can we describe love? Like, can we love only
Can you
one person
speak
in
up a
life?
little bit, please?
Yeah, yeah. Is it
Yeah,
okay now? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So the most important, I'll repeat, like the most important thing that I had to go through is to find the definition of love. What is love? Like, is it something like we have a feeling for only one person in our life, or there are many different persons that we feel for? Or like then I started understanding the different like forms of love that I have for different people. Why I love the particular person is because of some different quality. Maybe the next person for some different quality, but that doesn't means that I don't love the third person because he's not having that quality or specific quality that the other person has. Because
Right,
everybody has their each speciality, and fall in love with both of them. So this was a painting about a friend uh, that who has to I had to like a very close friend of mine, and like he had to leave India because of the coronavirus, and he had to go back to the US. So it was very and the day before he left, he came to meet us, and it was like even a week before we celebrated Holi together, and we had a lot of fun. And it was like after like within after 4 5 days of Holi, I came to know that he's leaving, and like he had been called back to the US by
hmm,
like he was doing an internship here under some NGO. So yeah, and then he came and just we spoke like it was like he gave us gifts, and we distributed gifts with each other and all. And like what he said, he just hugged me and he said, like, Ronnie, you know how to love. And there was just tears in our eyes. Like
right,
there was complete silence, and there was just only tears, and we were looking at each other. And then like he left, and he gifted a harmonica to me, and
okay,
a new way. Like I feel art is a way to survive, and something like art. It doesn't means only painting. It means music. It means dance. So like I like apart from painting, I dance. I'm inspired by mostly the Kathak form of
okay.
the classical Kathak form. He gave me a new way to express myself. That is music. So my new chapter is like learning how to play harmonica. So this was I was really
Wonderful.
missing. I was really missing. I don't know what kind of love was that, but it was a terrible, intense feeling that I had. So it was a two different part of the world that I am showing with the trees. And
Right.
one, like the friend is in, like he plays beautiful harmonica, like he really plays very beautiful, like very
Hmm.
melodious tunes. So
So this side of the world is of course, I guess it's a different part of the world than this part.
world. Huh. Like I'm sitting under the mountains and thinking about looking at the harmonica, like what I'm feeling for him, like the intensity and the friends, the very, he was a very good friend of mine, very, very good friend of mine. And I feel that he was the one of the person that who knew me, like who I am and what I feel, but we never express. But before he left, he expressed it is just one word, and those like the tears in our eyes express everything. So I cannot
Right.
describe, it was like I cannot tell what kind of love was that. I don't want to categorize it, but the feeling that we had, the intensity was extreme, and which I was literally missing him. So I just thought, let's make some painting, like let's
Right.
put pen it down, like that's how we create memories. And so I did it.
Wonderful. I
And
mean, this is so beautiful that you don't have to say what kind of love it was. The tears in your eyes spoke about it.
yeah,
And if I look at the painting, I mean, I can see two, like a different part of the world here. Like here, it is definitely in the west where you have tulips, right?
yes, yes,
And the tree is very different here. And in this part of the world, of course, I mean, I guess it's maple. There are maple leaves here,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
in this part, of course, it's very Indian, where you have the Himachal mountains and
Mountains and the
yeah, and the
pine
lilies,
forest,
the pine
lilies.
forests. Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So, can you talk a little about, first of all, let me tell you that, the love that you felt and the intensity that you felt is something that, one should always treasure because it is rare to
yeah,
feel a heart to heart connection.
yeah,
And, a lot of people just lead their lives without feeling it even once. And I feel pity for people like that. And I feel proud of people whom I know have actually felt it. And this is incredible. First of all, the fact that you've created a memory out of those tears and you've painted this beautiful expression. And I would want to know that, again, if you could talk about the style of painting in here,
yeah.
the
This is,
borders.
yeah, this is mostly Madhubani and Odisha Patachitra and Bengal
Right.
Patachitra. Obviously, the figures, if you see the hands and the faces and the style, it's like not very what to say. It's not very
Detailed.
realistic, detail or
Hmm.
realistic, but yet a
Right.
little bit of realistic and like a very simple way. Though I try to put do some detail work in this, but mostly the trees, the style, especially the style of the trees is from the Madhubani, and a
I
little bit of
understand.
Van Gogh style. If you see the western sky, you can
Right. Right.
you can see a little bit of inspiration
The
from Van Gogh.
swirls.
Yeah,
The
the swirls.
swirls here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. 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 This is phenomenal. So thank you again, Shubhodip. With your permission, I'll move to the next image.
yeah, sure.
Okay. Right. This one. This to me is fascinating because it pushes horizons. Like for example, as a young Indian artist and emerging star of India, what you've done here is you've taken two European masters. You've taken Vincent van Gogh and you've taken Gustav Klimt,
Gustav Klimt.
and you've gotten them together. And you, I can see Klimt's kiss right here, and I can see Van Gogh's Starry Night there, and I can see him holding a piece of his ear there, and all together, this image is so Indian as well because you've painted it keeping the folk tradition of India intact. So, could you talk a little about this? This is fascinating.
Yeah. So while I was busy painting, doing some other artwork, I started few of my other artwork. At that point of time, there is a friend of mine. and they are doing a really brilliant job every month. So they are picking up a bunch of good creative artists, and they are doing a collaboration of different art in a with a different topics every month. And so this month was July, was the like one of the artists passed away, like Van Gogh. It was in the month of July he passed away, and
Hmm.
Klimt, he was born on July, so it was a
Right.
tribute. So they were planning to give a tribute to him, and so he asked me like if you can make a painting. So then I thought, let's fuse them together. How beautiful it will look, like both of
Hmm.
them in their own world. So I just took a little bit of Van Gogh and Klimt's painting, and I just like, especially the figures are, I took it from Klimt's painting, and the nature around is like from Van Gogh's, like the starry
Van
nights,
Gogh.
the wheat fields, the
Right.
yeah, the and I thought, let's give it an Indian touch, like since it's my genre, how they will
Hmm.
look in the Indian form, the Indian folk art style. So it's just a like, I did it in a very short period of time, but yeah, I was really very happy and satisfied doing this. Like, it really gave me peace after I finished off this painting. And it's one of, yeah, very close to me also. Like, I have this kind of painting I've never not done before, so it's something new that I have done. So yeah, thank you to my friend who like actually inspiring me to do this. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I see the color yellow making an appearance. I mean, that is, of course, I believe the
uh,
influence of Van Gogh,
yeah,
isn't it? Because Van Gogh's use of the color yellow.
yellow as well as claim the gold. So I
Right. The
mixed
gold.
gold.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So I mixed gold with yellow, and then I painted it. So if like, if you see the real painting, so you can see it like the glowy golden on the yellow. So
Yes, gold leaf.
gold.
Klimt just used, the color gold leaf
Gold
on
leaf.
Kiss. Yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
yes. And
So
Van Gogh's use of the ochre. So you kind of got
occurs,
them, got the two together.
two
This
of
is
together.
beautiful. Okay, I wish you luck. And with this, I believe the this is the last one that we have. This is all. This also shows how an Indian artist can translate the image of two European masters into an incredible form, which is typically Indian. And I appreciate this, and I congratulate you from deep inside my heart. So with this, we come back to we stop the screen share and we come back. And Shubhajit, I would like to tell you that, first of all, I've been fascinated and moved by your dedication to your art, and how because you live, under the hills, and you live by yourself, and your art is your meditation. So I would ask you that, Shobhajit, as an emerging star artist of India,
Mhm.
what message do you have to artists of the rest of the world? Because right now, pandemic is making the world feel, the world is literally taking a step back. So as an artist, as a very strong, Indian artist with a worldview, what message do you have to the artists of the world right now, and the artists of India as well?
Again I will uh, yeah, again I will quote something that I have been taught. So like, not taught, I'll say something that I have been following, that has been said to me by by someone. So I will say that, like, whatever you want to do, like, do it, and never stop. Like, what you feel, do it. Like, everything, like, there is always a way out. Like, if you feel deep from your heart, like, there has to happen. So if you love painting, go ahead and paint, and go ahead, whatever you want to do. There is nothing wrong, or there is nothing right. There
Wonderful.
is, whatever your heart says, do it. So that will, like, I know this is a very tough time for the artists around the world. Like, Even I can also feel in my personal experience. But yeah, it's there is nothing sad. The good days will come. So make more art. So someday you can.
That is a great thing Shobhajit just said. People, to everyone who's watching, to everyone who'll watch this later, Shobhajit Mondal just had a very interesting thing to say that right now you have time, make as much art as you can because it'll, you know, every day, every moment, use every day to create new art because you never know when that portfolio would actually help you. This is the time, this is a very difficult time, but translate this time into a very productive period of your life, maybe the most productive period ever. So thank you, Shobhajit. It's been a treat. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a great experience talking to you. I hope you had a good time. And at from hashtag Go Viral to Stop the Virus, we feel proud to have spoken to you today, and we wish you all the best. And
Thank
we
you.
and we wish you success for the rest of your life. Yes,
Yeah, and I really want to thank you especially for uh, selecting my art to be a part of this Go Viral to Stop the Virus initiative. I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
thank Thank you. So, with this note, we end the interview here. And people, please check out Shubhajit Mondal's art and check out his Facebook page, and which is Kalpa Rupena. And for people outside India, for people in the world, watch out for Shubhajit Mondal because his art is coming to stun you. Thank you again. Thank you, and have a wonderful day, Shubhajit. Right? Bye bye.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
You too.